Hello there, on this video let's talk about how to set up a custom domain for a Google Tag Manager server-side container in Google Cloud. The requisites to do this project are: you need a server-side container already set up in Google Cloud. You need these permissions in Google Cloud, so this permission in the screen. You need access to the DNS Manager, Google Tag Manager access as an editor, publisher, or owner, and you need these APIs active. So normally in the process of this tutorial, you will be prompted, so just accept them when you are prompted to. All right, ready to start the tutorial? Let's dive in. Let's go to Google Tag Manager and then click here on the GTM ID. And if the project is already created in Google Cloud, you just click here so you get to the proper Google Cloud project. This is really important. You have to be in the same folder of the Google Tag Manager server-side container, the server-side container. So here, as soon we landed, we are going to search for IP addresses. So this is the first step of the process. All right, we have here a warning. Let's just to continue. So let's enable this app. All right, so as soon as this is loaded, we are going to click on reserve external IP address. We are going to name this server-side GTM IP, but you can select any name you would like to. Next, on the network service style, let's leave it on premium. We are going to leave it in IPv4, so that's okay. Under type settings, select global, so it can be available globally. Then we are going to click reserve. We have this message here, but don't worry that we are going to link this to a load balancer soon. So let's click reserve. And this will take a while until we have the IP address. So as soon as you have the IP address, we are going to copy this. We are going to need it later. Now we are going to map this IP address to our DNS Manager. So let's go there. So I'm here on the DNS Manager, and we are going to add an A record. This is super important. This is an A record. The name of the value here will be the subdomain that we are going to use. For this case, I will name this data, but you can name it as you like. Then here points to, we are going to paste the IP address. Make sure it doesn't have any blank spaces or something weird that doesn't match. So I'm verifying here. Yeah, that is looking great. And let's add this record. All right. So as soon you create the map, the record, and you verify by refreshing the page and making sure the IP address is added as an A record as you were instructed here. Alright, so as soon as this is mapped, you will go to Google Cloud, and we are going to create a certificate, SSL certificate for this subdomain. This is necessary for security matters. And we are going to type here certificate manager. And you will be prompted to activate the Certificate Manager API. Do so if you see the screen, and it will take some few seconds or a few minutes. So as soon as you see the screen, you will go to Classes Certificates, then create an SSL certificate. You are going to name this as Server-Side GTM SSL Certificate. You can name this whatever you want. This is a suggested name. We are going to scroll down below here. We can just leave the description as they are. we are going to select here, create a Google Managed Certificate. This is really important. And here in the domain, we are going to add the domain we created. In my case, it will be data.analyticsengine.co. And we're going to click create. And that's it. We just created a certificate SSL. We mapped the subdomain, and now we are going to create a load balancer that is the structure that will receive the request for from the client side, from the browser, from the traffic of the users, and then this load balancer will pass the traffic to your GTM server side container. All right, so to start, let's go to load balancing here. Load balancing. Then we are going to create a load balancer. We are going to leave it as application load balancer. Then on public facing or internal, we are going to set facing external, of course, because this needs to be connected to the internet. On this section, we are going to leave best for global workloads. Next. In load balancer generation, we are going to select global external application load balancer, as you can see in the screen. And finally, when we will reach the screen, we are just to click configure. Now you will see the screen, and we are going to name this load balancer server side GTM dash load balancer. Next, we are going to set up the front end of this load balancer. So for the name of this one, we are going to name it server side GTM load balancer front end, as you can see here on the screen. All right. In description, we are going to leave this. On protocol, we are going to select HTTPS. This is really, really important that these settings are kept. We are going to leave IP version 4 for this. From the drop-down, we are going to select the IP address, the certificate we selected before. And the IP addresses here will be our server-side GTM IP address that we set up in the first steps of this tutorial. We are going to keep port 443. For the certificate, well, we just selected this, and yes, we are going to leave it like this: GCP default, automatic default, and we are going to leave this disable, and we are going to enable HTTP and to HTTPS redirect. We are going to click done. Next, you're going to click on backend configuration, not click on create yet. And here on backend configuration, we are going to make a click. Then we are going to select create a backend service. We are going to name this server side GTM load balancer backend. Description can be empty. In serverless and backend type, we are going to select serverless network endpoint group. This is really important that this is the correct one you use. Under new backend, select create serverless network endpoint group. And here we are going to name the serverless network endpoint group with adding a label of the region where your serverless container, your server container is created. So let's go to Google Cloud, and we are going to find your Google Cloud instance. So let's go to console. Then here, and make sure you are in the correct project. We are going to find Cloud Run to find your GTM instance. And I noticed that here my region is US Central 1, so that region will be added at the end of the name. So in this case, we are going to add the name Server Side GTM Network Endpoint USC1, as is my region here. As you can see, it's an US1. So this is really important so you can match the regions of the traffic. So here we are going to select US1, US Central 1 here, and this here we're going to select Cloud Run for our Cloud Run instance. Then on select service in the Cloud Run, we are going to select the server side tagging, not the preview. This is really important, the server side tagging, because the preview mode doesn't need a load balancer. Now we are going to leave all the settings as they are. We are going to click on create, and then you will click create again. No, sorry, not yet. We are going to disable cloud CDN, and here in the login we are going to keep this unlocked. You will still have some logs from a Google Tag Manager server side Cloud Run instance. So you can have those logs here because this will increase cost. So it's okay if you leave it. Next, in Cloud Armor, you are going to select to none. This is okay. And that's it. You're going to leave the rest as it is. Let's click create. And you will see the screen. Next, let's go to routing rules. Alright, so here in routing rules, we are going to keep the mode simple host and path rule, as you can see here. Next, let's click on add host and path rule. And here we are going to add the subdomain that we map. Make sure it's exactly as you map it. So this is data.analyticsengine.com. In path, we are going to pass this expression, /**, and in the backend, we are going to select the load balancer that we created. So the screen that you should see should be like this, as you can see. Then we are going to click on review and finalize to see the whole setup. So after checking the IP address, the certificate, all the assets that we have created together on this tutorial, and if you're ready to go, let's just create the load balancer. Next, you will see this screen, and it's normal. It will take some time to create all the setup. Make sure you are not skipping any of the settings that you are seeing on this tutorial. This is really important to have it in a good shape. Alright, let's wait until this is finished and we will continue. So if everything is great, you will see the screen with green check marks. So let's inspect the load balancer to see if everything is great. And yeah, it looks great. If the IP here, there is the IP address. Let's check this out. Yeah, let's check also. So we just check the front end and the load balancer. So this looks great. Furthermore, let's check the backend. So the backend is here. Yeah, everything looks correct. Alright, so now we are going to confirm the domain settings by going to class certificates. Certificate Manager. Then class certificates. So the domain is here, the status is provisioning, in use, and this looks correct. To test the domain, let's open a new tab and you will go to the website. So let's type https data.analyticsengine.co healthy. So you will add the subdomain and a slash and then the word healthy. This is a path to check the setup in Google Cloud. So if you see the OK, it means that the mapping was set correct. Another tool that will help is the dig tool. So let's open this, and here you will type the domain, the subdomain, and here you have the IP address. This should be, you should match with the IP address that you mapped before, right? Next, let's add this subdomain into Google Tag Manager after you make these checks. So let's go back to Tag Manager, and then we will go to the admin section. Then in container settings, you can override or have it, you leave this as a test, for testing purposes if you like. Here you can add the HTTPS here without the healthy page path, of course. Then you will click Save. Next, let's go to the workspace, and you will notice that you have a new feature here. So we click here, we can switch the domain, then click Preview, and you should see that this particular screen should be visible for you. The domain should be data, well, the subdomain you have. And if you go to the website, make a just page views. I'm going to make multiple page views. You should see is request coming through here. So if you did all the test checks, you will be ready to have it and start using this subdomain. Always also remember to use this subdomain in the client side and add it, but that's not how to use this is not part of this video. So I hope you can check my other videos where I touch this subject. I hope this video was helpful for you. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because in that way we can reach to more people. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day. Goodbye.